Did you see how much I want to talk about? It's a
Yeah,
lot.
too
Are we
much.
live? We are
Mm-hmm.
live. Hey, there we are. Welcome to the Maple Minds podcast. I'm Christy. That's Rob and Polly. We're three people from BC who just yap about politics every Tuesday and Friday at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. We talk about BC politics, Canadian politics, international politics. We talk about them loud Americans. But today, since we are a Canadian podcast, we're going to start with Canada, and we're going to start with Carney going to China, the 13th to the 17th. Now, this is the first time that a Canadian Prime Minister has visited China since, fact check me if I'm wrong, 2017, I believe.
Wow.
Rob, what are your thoughts?
I think it's great. I mean, that's really what we need. I mean, we need to keep diversifying our trade, finding a lot more trade partners. And I mean, obviously, China is as big as it gets. So I think it's nothing but, good for us. I mean, I don't know what's going to come of it. I don't know really what they're going to be talking about or what they're going to be discussing, but I'm sure there's going to be a few things that both of them want. And if they can come to some sort of agreement, let's do it. Let's go. Let's get this. Let's keep going.
Well, I think first of all, we'd be naive to not recognize where the hesitation, or the hesitation is the wrong word. Concern's a better word. We can tell where the concern comes from, and there's been a reason why, Canada hasn't wanted to deal with China for a while, for like almost 9 years. I think it's a different political landscape right now, but I do understand the criticism of, aren't we just trading one villain for another? Why are we going with with this villain when this villain's like right next door? I think that there's arguments for against trading with both countries, but I agree with you. I think it's a good idea. I think that what is going to come out of this is going to be good for the Canadian economy. And ideally, we would be able to choose people based on morals. But I don't think that's realistic, especially not in a time of trade wars and geopolitical repositioning and traditional trade relationships repositioning. I agree with you. It's when you say it's as big as it gets, it's actually as second big as it gets. The only bigger that it gets is the United States. And as that turns out to be, not such a great idea, I think second biggest, unfortunately, is the better idea.
Yeah, you got to think about it from an economy standpoint, though. There's a lot of opportunities there both ways, and you know, while you might not agree with China's politics and certain policies and certain things that they do, you can't alienate our economy based on that. We need to go out there, and sometimes healthy trade and working together with a country also helps, because now you're sitting at a table and you can kind of even voice your concerns over certain things that they might be doing. And I think nothing's set in stone either. I mean, we know, we've seen Carney so far this past year go into countries for negotiations. I mean, these are negotiations. It's basically opening the door, saying, "Hey, let's see what we could do together. What do you need from us? What do we need from you? What can we do here? How can we benefit each other?" He's not going in there having to make a deal. There is no deal that has to be made. It's just sort of saying, what can we get? What can we do? How do we work?
I think that the has to. I think that there's some provinces who are looking at these interactions from their own best interest for the people who live in their province. For example, Doug Ford being concerned about the EV tariff. I think that a meeting with China is probably going to invite some talk about that big tariff that we have on their EVs. We talked about this the last show, pardon me, if they get their EVs into our country, all of our EV producers, they're not going to sell anything. Nobody's going to spend, way more money. I think that, and Doug Ford is fighting hard for the auto industry in Ontario. So I think that he's probably watching for that. I think Scott Moe is probably watching the canola trade. And so when we say that there's no trade that has to be made, I understand what you're talking about. We're not going in a position of weakness, but there are things that we don't want to see, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, from everything we've seen so far, Carney's a pretty smart individual, and
I think so.
He's not going to sell. He's not going to sell us out. Well, I hope not, Carney. If you're watching, probably not. But
yeah, hey Mark, if you're watching,
don't sell us out. Just don't. Let's look at some good options and kind of go from there. But
okay, so let me bring up something else about this China trip, and that is, I don't know if you saw, but somebody who is accompanying Carney to China is Michael Ma, the new Liberal MP, the guy who crossed the floor in December. So there's a lot of chatter online about, look at this. This must have been the plan, all along. Look, I'm just going to say the guy joined the committee of Canada-China relations. What is it? Yeah, the Canada-China Legislative Association. Sorry. Yeah, he joined that in September and became the vice chair of it on October 1st. He didn't cross the floor until December 11th. I don't believe you had a plan for that long. I think it has more to do, like I said, with his committee appointment than some deal that he made to cross the floor. That's my opinion.
I mean, that's exactly what it is, though. I mean, people have to give their head a shake, and anyone who believes that is they're just trying to blow smoke, right? I mean, that's just what it is, and yeah, it's frustrating because people are just digging whatever dirt they want to dig, and they're going to call it whatever they want to call it, and then just leave it as it is. Put it as thoughts in people's brains and moving on, right? I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, that's what I think it's about too. I think it's about planting seeds of doubt, whether or not they actually believe that there was some shady deal with him crossing the floor that has to do with why he's going to China. Even if they don't believe that's true, it doesn't matter if they believe it or not. It just matters if they can get other people to believe it or not, to, keep the fires of rage against liberals alive and burning hot.
Yeah. And it's funny because you look at social media right now, and there's all this hate towards Carney, and whether or not they're bots or whoever they are, it's so unwarranted. They're like, he hasn't done anything bad. I mean, if anything, all the stuff he's been doing has been great for Canada. Things are going really well, and you have all this shade and hate being thrown online towards Carney, and you're like, it doesn't match. It doesn't match up. But the problem is, there's so much of it. There's so much. I don't know. There's so many bots being paid for by the Conservative Party, I'm sure, to try to keep, like, I don't know.
Well, by somebody with an interest in making sure that, Canadians keep fighting with each other instead of getting together and fighting with the people who are trying to manipulate us.
Yeah. Well,
but yeah, social media I think it's a mess, honestly.
Well, a lot of those bots and a lot of that craziness is that whole, Trump, come up here and help us. And it's like, I'm so sick and tired and seeing of garbage like that.
That makes me mad. Honestly,
like I sit there and go,
those
can't be actual Canadians doing that. Like, I mean, come on.
I know.
What? Like, who is saying that? Like, come save us? Save us from what? You wanna go to where they are right now? Are you kidding me? They are the laughing stock of the world. The world. Do you see that? I think it was a boxing or MMA fight in Australia where Australians absolutely booed the crap out of the American anthem, like loud,
No, I didn't.
loud. Yeah, I think it was
Really?
last night or the other day, but they like it was pretty crazy.
Huh.
Yeah.
Let's talk now about, let's move down to, we're going to stay with Canada, but then Canada kind of not teaming up with Brazil, but talking with Brazil. Carney talked to President Lula from Brazil and put out a statement about how they spoke about how they want to see Venezuela have a Venezuelan-led transition process that respects the democracy or the democratic rights of the Venezuelan people. So what do you, I'll give my thoughts soon, but what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, obviously, Brazil has a bit of a vested interest in that as well. I mean, but I mean, that's really what it should come down to. I think Venezuelans need to make the decision for themselves, but I mean, what does that look like? I mean, like, who's gonna run this? You know, the election down there. Like, who's gonna ensure there's no corruption in the election? Who's running? Who's not? You know, like,
Yeah.
what does that look like? I mean, it's easy for a politician to say we support a democratic, sort of, transition or a democratic, election to put someone in place in that country. That's good. Like, that's great,
Well, they
but
had elections. Somebody won. They've been, and then Trump came along and he's like, "No, we're not going to use. I'm not going to use them."
yeah, yeah.
Um,
But I mean, did you see that that leader of the opposition is coming to go visit Trump to give him
uh,
her Nobel Peace Prize?
Karina Machado, who won the Nobel Peace Prize,
Yeah.
she's coming for a visit, I believe.
And Trump
Um,
says she's giving him the Peace Prize. And then he said that he deserves 8 of them for every war that
oh
he's
yeah, I know. It's nauseating, really. But I want to talk about what one of his senators said. There was a Republican senator named Tom Cotton who was talking about Venezuela, and he was talking about how they had taken over, the oil industry, and they were going to be calling the shots. And he actually said, Venezuelans, their lights are going to get shut off. They're not going to be able to turn them back on again unless they go along with what President Trump wants, with what Americans want. And then, pardon me, he later said, long term, what we want to see is, a leader of Venezuela. And then he stopped himself and he corrected himself. And he stopped saying, a leader of the Venezuelan people, and said a leader who serves the best or serves the interests of the Venezuelan people and who is pro-American. So he stopped himself from saying that they want to see a Venezuelan leader, instead changing it to see we want a leader who's going to serve their interests, but like our country the best.
Yeah.
I thought that was shady.
Yeah, of course it is. But I mean, we've seen history of the United States going into countries and basically trying to overthrow them and putting in leaders and people that they want to see in there. I mean, obviously you've got something later on that I saw in a country where now there's, rioting, or not rioting, but there's protests that are happening. Then the protesters are all pro-American. And like we've seen it forever.
Yeah.
But all
We're
it's
going to
ever
see it in
created.
Iran next.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what it is. It's in Iran. But
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing: is this has been happening for so long, and it's created nothing but disasters every single time. So I mean, I don't know. It's just too much. Stay out of it. The one thing that I'm excited about is the Senate in the United States just passed that resolution or whatever to basically say, hey, Trump, you can't alone go into Venezuela and do anything ever again. You need Congress's approval. But I mean,
Okay, let's
not
talk
that
about
Congress isn't
that.
yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So I agree with you that it's good. But first of all, like, isn't that just like standing up and saying you have to follow the rules. Like, what's the rule before? He couldn't do it before. And
Yeah.
now they're saying, well, we're telling him that he can't. Like, why do we think that he's going to listen? First of all, and secondly, I think he is listening for now, but he's trying to spin it off as, well, I'm holding back on my own. I don't know if you saw, they released some prisoners, right? So they released some prisoners. So he said, okay, good for you guys for releasing those prisoners. So now I won't do a second attack. Doesn't say anything about this Senate vote to say to him, yeah, you can't unless you get Congress approval.
Yeah.
Doesn't mention that at all. Just, oh, I'm not going to do it because, because I'm rewarding you for this,
Yeah. You guys are
this
lucky.
action of freeing some prisoners.
Yeah. Oh, you're so lucky. If you hadn't done this, you hadn't done this. But it's interesting though, because I mean, obviously that's world news. But it makes you wonder how many of the existing leadership in Venezuela, whether they go, well, hey, we're okay, guys. Don't sell the horses yet. Let's not worry about that yet. We don't need to do any of this stuff. So
don't sell the horses yet. Yeah.
Or I guess not sell them. Don't give away the horses.
Yeah. But just my final thought on the Carney and Carney and Lula statement is that, yes, I think that this is the right thing for Venezuela, but specifically because it goes against what the United States is saying that they want. I think that is a louder message than, for me, a louder message is we're disagreeing with the United States than, we both agree on what should happen here.
Yeah, and then they talked about having a meeting.
Yeah,
where Carney's going to go to Brazil.
I think he's going to go there in the spring, I believe.
Yeah, but isn't that interesting though? You've got China, Brazil. I mean, we're talking BRICS nations, right?
Yes.
So this is, like in my mind, that's pretty wild. Like, you got to have Donald Trump sitting there going, "What the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell?" Next thing you know, he'll be in India and Russia.
Well, I believe hasn't he already? Am I wrong? Has he gone to India? Has he met with Modi? I
don't know. I haven't seen it. So, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. I know that he was in.
And I can't Google.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
But I agree with you. It is the BRICS nations. We believe that Trump is concerned with them.
Well, he has to be. I mean, they are a threat through international trade and the U.S. dollar. I mean, that's and now what used to be the U.S.'s closest ally, not anymore. And anyone can argue that all they want. Is going to the BRICS nations looking for trade deals.
Mm-hmm.
That's something, man. That's something.
It's interesting because when we talk about, and I think it all the time about how I believe the Americans are being manipulated from outside of America. Like, look at who benefits most from. Anyways, that's probably who's doing the manipulating. That's all I'm saying.
Honestly,
but I want to touch on one more Canadian thing before we go south and talk about the Americans, and that is Ms. Chrystia Freeland, as of today, is no longer a member of Parliament, which is the right decision, in my opinion. I don't think you should be an advisor for another government while a sitting member of Parliament for, the government that your government. I think that I think if you were going to resign anyways, which she was always going to, like, why dance around it? Why say, oh, in the coming weeks and all this, and why give the opponents fodder? right? Why give them ammunition to use to plant doubt in voters' minds about this dancing around about, oh, maybe I'll sit as an MP and still be doing that, even though she was never going to do that. It could have been communicated a lot clearly the day that it was announced that she got that. Okay, yep, you know what? I'm going to resign the second that the House allows me to, and take away their talking points about this. That's just what I think.
Yeah, I don't know though. I mean, you think about someone who's been in that position for a long time. I mean, sometimes it's hard to just be like the next day, be like, "See you guys." People give 2 weeks notice. People do certain things where they're like, "Hey, I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to this new job." Like
But your
you think
job
about back in the day. Back in the day when we had people that would
different.
move
It's
move
different
into
when your
something
job is
different.
serving the public,
Yeah, but here's the thing though: is if
I think.
remember back in the day, if someone were to quit and go to some sort of competition or something that was similar to what we did, they would put in 2 weeks or whatever it was, and then obviously the company would come in and be like, "Hey, thanks for your service. You're out of here," because they don't want them sticking around because they see that there could be a potential conflict of interest. And I mean, maybe that's what Carney should have done. Maybe he should have stepped in and said, "All right, well, thanks. See you later. You can't be here anymore." But I don't think she wasn't in position. She wasn't in position already advising him. Like, I mean, I don't know. There's got to be a transition, and anyone who wants to start bringing crap up, I mean, who cares? There's a
Look,
transition period.
and
What's she
so
doing?
hold on, my criticism is only about the communication of it. It
Uh,
isn't about her accepting it or resigning. And I do think she should have resigned. But my point is that she knew she was going to have to resign. Like,
yeah.
why postpone it? And I don't believe it's emotional. And I think it's different than any job that is remaining just within your company. When your job is a politician and you're serving the public and you have a perceived conflict of interest by advising another country, um
But she wasn't doing it yet. She hadn't started that job yet.
then communicate that. Say, you know what, as soon as I start that, like, communicate it better so that there wouldn't be a perception of conflict of interest, because there was.
Yeah.
And you
I,
can say it's valid or it isn't. I when we talk about, yep, she wasn't in the role yet, she wasn't doing anything, she wasn't sitting at two desks, literally, and pardon me, juggling both the jobs at the same time. So you can say that the perception is invalid, but at a time where there is such a strong effort to present an alternative reality to conservative supporters, why open that door? If you know you're going to quit anyways, just do it. Do it. Don't let them open the door to have that kind of doubt, because they're going to be pushing bullshit out anyways and putting doubt out anyways. Why make it easy for them? That's my criticism. I think that the way that she kind of kicked the resignation can down the road a little bit, I think it was unnecessary. I think it was a bad end to her political career in the public eye in Canada, personally. And I think that if she'd done it right away, I think that I'd have respected it more. That's all.
yeah, I see it differently. I just see her taking on a role at a certain period of time and carrying out her duties in the role that she's currently in until she needs to transition.
You know
Like,
what? I love
like,
that we don't agree on everything.
yeah,
It would be
yeah,
boring if we did, I think.
yeah. I personally don't care. I just see it as someone's career and their choices. And you know what? She made a choice to move on to do something different in her life. And she continued in the position she was in until it was time for her to go and transition into that new position in her life. And yeah, the Conservative Party can jump on whatever they want and they can swing it however they want. And I know that you're upset because she gave them the opportunity to do it. But I think I think they would have done it anyway, even if she had resigned right away. I think they still would have swung the narrative. They still would have tried to bang that drum, and they still would have tried to pull a rabbit out of some hat that didn't exist. So, I mean, I don't think it really matters. I think at the end of the day, She was just transitioning from one job to the next. She carried out her duties in the job she was in until it was time to move on to the next job. And that's that.
I agree with you that they would have banged the drum anyways. I think that an immediate resignation would have given it less volume.
Perhaps.
But so now that she's gone, though, now Carney's a vote short until the by-election and they fill her seat again. We talked last show about how I thought personally that the seat would probably remain Liberal. We'll see at the end of the by-election, but it's also rumored that there's 2 Liberal MPs who are going to get diplomat positions. I'm not sure where, but that would be another 2 seats until a by-election. Could be why the attempt to get more floor crossers, is always in the ears. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just telling you what I hear.
Wasn't there an NDP thinking about it too?
There was an NDP who talked about being approached, but had turned it down. I don't remember her name. Unfortunately,
I know what she looks like, but I don't know her name.
I don't even know what she looks like. I just read about it.
We have a comment. That I just want to show up because you and Rob don't agree.
Okay.
It says, how do you willfully look past the conflict of interests involved in a situation like this and using a loophole to pull it off too? And that is from Canada 5234.
I'm not sure what they mean by what conflict of interest really,
for Chrystia Freeland.
Chrystia Freeland.
Yeah.
I just look at it personally. I just look at it as someone who's transitioning from one job to another. I mean,
yeah.
I think if she had tried to stay on and not resigned, I think there's a clear conflict of interest there.
I thought that's what she was going to do. That's what my when I was reading about it and listening to it and
no, she was planning on stepping. She was always gonna step down. I mean, here's the thing: is she's always been involved with Ukraine. I mean, for Canada relations with Ukraine, a proponent of helping Ukraine and doing all these things. And I mean, it was almost like a natural thing where, I mean, that's where her interest lied, right? And then I think it's good that she left. I mean, that's, if she had stayed and continued in the background trying to support Ukraine, knowing full well that that's what she wants to do, then you could definitely see that there's a clear conflict of interest. But I mean, she was stepping down. She made it very clear to the ethics committee or whatever committee that was, to make sure that they understood what was happening. I just think it's a reach for people. It's a reach for people to see a fire and smoke where there isn't any.
Okay, so the only thing I'm going to say is that if it was a different situation, if it was a conservative MP, let's say it's Andrew Scheer, who gets a job advising the American administration, I don't want that. You know what I mean?
And if he steps down, that's fine. Move on.
And if he steps down, that's fine. I agree. But if he says, okay, I'm accepting this role, I'm going to resign somewhere down there, and doesn't tell me when, I don't like that. And so what I'm saying is that if I'm not going to accept it in that situation, I shouldn't be able to accept it in the other situation. But we're at the halfway mark and we have so much else to talk about.
I love it that you both don't agree on everything. I love that. I think that's amazing. I can't be just sitting here. Yes. I agree. Yes, I agree.
And if you go through other shows too, if you follow our YouTube channel, which you should be doing already, you should be subscribing. If you haven't, please hit subscribe. But you can see our other shows too, and you can see this isn't the first time we've disagreed. And
we're fairly similar on the political spectrum too, I think. That's the interesting part.
Also, isn't she Ukrainian?
Yeah,
I think he's got it. Yeah. Heritage or
yeah.
Her mother's, yeah.
Because I think somebody said she could even speak Ukrainian or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, can we go
She's
to
quiet
Minnesota?
again. Why are you quiet? You're got this
Can we
quiet.
go to
feeling.
Minnesota?
Go to Minnesota. Let's go to Minnesota. It's a sad story, though.
Yeah.
It is a sad story, and I've
I mean,
got
obviously
a
we
lot
have
of
to go
content.
there.
Sorry?
I said obviously we have to go there, but
Yeah. I don't think you can have any kind of podcast that talks about politics and not talk about what happened in Minnesota, and especially what happened right after what happened in Minnesota, not in the thick bullshit that the American administration is trying to cover this story in. Where do we want to start? Rob, go ahead.
you know what? I'm for this one. I think the most disappointing. I think I am with this. I mean, beyond the comment, especially JD Vance's comments, Kristi Noem's comments. I mean, those are so highly disappointing. But this whole thing really, really highlights the fact that this government really doesn't care about all Americans. And I think it really highlights this, where the Trump administration only cares about their MAGA. That's who they care about. They are the president of MAGA. They are the administration of MAGA. Nobody else. I mean, they've taken funding away from blue states. They've tried to hurt them in certain ways. They've sent ICE predominantly into these blue states to terrorize communities. Anything that's happened in blue states, whether or not it's members of government that were assassinated or individuals killed or there's no love lost for them. There's no sympathy. There's no, we're very sorry for these tragic events that have happened. That's what you get, and
Yeah.
this what has happened, where you have this 37-year-old mother gunned down in the streets, and you have these people that are now saying it was her fault. And here's the thing. So my take on this whole thing is this should never have happened in the first place. Yeah, you saw her in her car. There was a car originally that went by, and the next ICE vehicle approached. You could see her with her arm out the window, waving them through. Yeah, go through. Instead of them going through, they all jumped out of their vehicle, surrounded her vehicle, and basically tried to open the door to pull her out of her vehicle. She's now being attacked by these agents. She's now feeling like, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen to me here. She's a U.S. citizen who's now being attacked by these agents out of nowhere. She turns her wheels, and everyone can clearly see it, to get out of there. She didn't turn her wheels and drive through the guy. And here's the other portion is, you've got this guy who 6 months ago got dragged in a vehicle, is back out there, and now he's standing in front of a vehicle in the middle of the road. Yeah, see, there's that original vehicle that went by. There's room to go by. Why, and then the next group comes up, and then they get out of the vehicle, and there they go. They start approaching. You've got the other guy going around who's videotaping. He's on his phone, and you could see him clearly up at the front, and he is in front of the vehicle at this point. She turns her vehicle, and in another clip, you could see she looks like she did bump him in another vehicle. She bumped him. She didn't knock him to the ground. She didn't drive over him. And he shot her in the head, in the side of her open window. I've never in my life.
The front.
That front
from the side.
That front shot is still a side shot. You can shoot through the windshield where that bullet is from the corner of a vehicle.
Yeah.
Not from the front. You can still hit the windshield from the side. We don't know the trajectory of the bullet. Everyone can say, look, it's at the front windshield. I can hit the front windshield from the side of a vehicle, people. People can hit the front windshield from the side of the vehicle. It's plain and simple. But my point is, if you're able to jump out of the way, and even if you are bumped by the vehicle, you're bumped, and you're still able to get out of the way of the vehicle, what gives you the right to shoot somebody in the head? You've got here's the thing is, that same guy, we saw his cell phone, his cell phone video. He went in behind the vehicle and clearly showed what her license plate was. You have her license plate. There's no reason to shoot somebody in the head. Yeah. You have her license plate. She gets away. You know where to find her. You know where to go. You want to go charge her for hitting you with a vehicle or do any of that, go for it. I have no issues with that. You want to charge her for evading, or doing any of this stuff. Go ahead and do that. But to shoot somebody in the head because they're driving away from you, you are not in clear and present danger. There is no reason for it whatsoever. And you can even see, she's like, I have no issues with you. And you can actually even hear her say that. So this whole thing is ridiculous. And the people that are online right now that are saying that this was justified are horrible people. And this is absolutely disgusting. This should never have happened. There's no reason for any of this to have happened. Ever. I mean, I don't understand why they even got out of their vehicle to try and go after her anyway. She wasn't doing anything. And if anyone says she's blocking, she wasn't. Everyone saw that other car go around her. Pretty plain and simple. There is no narrative that ever at any point condones this shooting.
So I want to point out two things, because I've done a lot of content on this. I've watched these videos a lot, and I did a video specifically on this video. That video that Polly was just showing is the footage from the ICE officer's phone. So this guy was recording with his right hand. Okay, so he went around. You can see in the reflection of the van in one of the shots when he's first going around. See, first of all, right here, can you pause that or go back? So first of all, when he does the first pass, you can see he's recording in his right hand. He does a loop around, and then he passes the front of that car. So you're telling me this guy who's so traumatized from being dragged by a car and who's is trained to walk in front of a vehicle that is running with a driver still in it twice? Bullshit. And he's super close to the front of the car. If she wanted to run him over, she could have done it the first time that he walked around the car, but she didn't. So at this point, he's recording with his right hand. And he's walking around. Her wife starts chirping at him, big boy, go get a lunch, chirp, chirp, chirp. He changes the phone to his left hand. Why would he do that? If you're just recording, why would you want to free up your right hand? You're the same right hand that's going to grab your firearm a couple of seconds later. He is not in front of the van when he changes his phone hand. He frees up his right hand before he's in front of the van when he has no chance of being run over.
That's a great point. I haven't even heard anyone talk about that, where he switches hands and pulls out his gun. Because, I mean, clearly he has his gun ready when he goes in front of that vehicle.
Yeah. And he wouldn't have if he didn't switch hands. He switched hands right after the wife was beacon off about go get a sandwich. And I have to say too, like if that was me, if I was in a conflict with somebody and I was chirping at them and they killed my husband after I was chirping at them, like I really feel for the wife. I think that is really horrible. And you can see the wife's trying to get back into the van. Here's another thing. There's a lot of people who are accusing the wife of, encouraging murder by saying, drive, baby, drive. You're not saying run him over, baby, run him over. You're saying drive as your wife
get out of here,
pulling away. Exactly. And in my video, I paused when he does the first pass, when he's still recording with his right hand, when he does the first pass in front of the van. Oh, sorry, the second time. The second time when he's already changed his phone, he's got his right hand free and he's going in front, you can see her hands are turning the wheel and he isn't even pointing yet.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah, that's
already
right.
turning away from him.
Yeah, like she's looking to
And
back
so
up,
many people,
and then she turns the steering wheel here away,
Yeah.
or she's backing up, and then when he comes, sorry,
afterwards,
he's not
When it
even
comes
around
to
yet.
the other
And then,
side, she
see
backs
right
up.
where
here,
you can
right here, that's where you can see the reflection where he's holding it in his right hand.
yeah, he's holding it in his right hand, and then he comes around. He's got the license plate number, like Rob said. He doesn't need to. They could get her
Yeah.
later. In fact, a lot of people said that this is where their neighborhood was. Like, this is
Yeah,
their house.
that is their
They were
neighborhood.
at their
Yeah.
house.
I don't know if they
And-
were
Also,
at
the
their
big
house, but they're
dinosaur
in
that
their
you see in the
neighborhood.
background isn't AI or a trick. It's somebody who has a big dinosaur on their lawn. Apparently, just somebody in that neighborhood has a dinosaur on their lawn.
And this is where he switches hands, like Christy said.
See?
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right there. He switches
Yep.
hands. He switches
Yeah.
from the right to the left hand. What does he need
Yeah.
his right hand for, right?
That's my
He
point.
knows. He knows what he's going to do.
And that's where she backs
and then,
up.
Yeah, she's backed up, but here she's like, you can see her turning the steering wheel away from him.
Yeah.
And he dropped his phone. He jumped out of the way in time. He dropped his
Here's
phone.
the thing. Even if he
She
got
was
bumped,
not actively blocking traffic.
even if he got bumped, as she's fleeing, that's a lot different than she was going to run me over. Or as the president of the United States said, she did run him over, which everybody can see that she didn't run him over. And
He didn't even hit the ground.
Sorry.
He didn't even hit the ground. I mean, he stayed on his feet. How bad is it?
Yeah. And they delayed getting medical attention to her, took their time to go over there. And then there were other people who wanted to go and offer medical attention.
There was a
guy
doctor.
who was,
There was a doctor.
Yeah, who said, I'm a physician. And they said, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely horrible.
How is she blocking traffic here?
Yeah. Car went by and she waved the other one along.
Also, where are the agents that are pushing the cars out of the snow? Remember Christy Nome when it first
they
happened,
were stuck in the snow.
Some agents were trying to push their car out of the snow when a lady tried to run them over.
Yeah. I mean,
So
she changed her story on that one too, though.
She did, but she kept the pushing
the narrative
the snow part the same.
Yeah.
When she said, "Oh, a mob of agitators surrounded them," and what was she doing in the van? She was sitting there with her window open. What they like? If you think that chirping was bad, I heard worse on a TikTok live this morning. Like, come on. The chirping was about what? Getting sandwiches. Come and get me. I'm not mad. That's not even real. Like, come on.
Do you know what was worse?
That's harassment to the point where you can't do your job. Are you kidding me?
I think the snowball fight was worse. I think throwing snowballs at them. I think that's worse than someone sitting in their car saying, "Hey, go by, go by."
She's trying to turn around. You can see it.
Yeah.
She's trying to turn her car around. These guys came up as she's turning around. Like, if you watch on, sorry, I'm going to show this because, wrong one. Because this one shows like she arrived. No, this isn't the one. I got to find it. There's one where it shows that she's arrived and then law enforcement comes and she's trying to turn her vehicle.
Yeah.
Like, she's trying to come out and they're racing by her. And so she's like, okay, fine, go by. And
yeah,
like, she's trying to get around that vehicle that's in front of her. Do you see the vehicle that's in front of her?
Yeah.
You see that vehicle that's in front of her there with the door open? She's trying to get around that vehicle. So she goes to pull out to get around that vehicle. Right.
So she was dropping somebody off because her wife was outside of the car.
Yeah, that's true too. Right. But she's trying to get around this vehicle. And so she pulls out to get around that vehicle. And these cars are coming. She sees them. She lets them go by. She's waving them by. Okay, go by. And that's when they get out of their car and they're like, get out of the car. Because they have, what did JD Vance say? They have absolute immunity.
Which is BS. The guy went to Harvard, or not Harvard. He went to Yale Law. They don't have absolute immunity. And there are specific rules of deadly force, and it prohibits shooting at a car or shooting at somebody just because they're trying to flee. It prohibits shooting at a moving motor vehicle unless that is the only way that you can save your life, which you can argue in this way. The guy wasn't going to get run over, first of all, and all he had to do was take one more step to the left. And he's the one who put himself in that position to start with. Like, even if she was blocking traffic, there was like, she's blocking traffic. Even if she was blocking traffic, is that a death sentence? Tell me, please. Is that a death sentence?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, apparently it is nowadays. There was a lawyer that basically argued. I saw them, and they made complete sense. Where they said the second that they approached her vehicle, they became the aggressors in this, and they then negated any right to be able to apply any force in that confrontation. There was no reason for them to even approach the vehicle. There was no, they were the aggressors. They were the ones that went in and created the scenario of what happened. And not only did they raise the temperature of that scenario, they then reacted with a high temperature. Whereas if they had just gone in softer, a little more, not surrounding the vehicle, one person approaching the vehicle, she had her window rolled down. You could clearly have a good conversation with her and just say, hey, you shouldn't be here, whatever, and go from there. I mean, the fact that they escalated the situation. He did not escalate the situation, but they escalated it to a point where they needed to shoot. If she had escalated the situation and then tried to run them over, there could have been more of a reason for it. But she did not escalate the situation. She did not take it from 0 to 100. They took it to 100 and then moved it to 100,000. And that's really what it comes down to. And anyone who's arguing, I don't get it.
Everybody who's like the do not comply people are like, why didn't she comply? Why didn't she comply?
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing.
She wasn't under arrest. There was an armed person who was trying to get into her vehicle.
Masked men, and she's a woman.
Armed person was trying to. Yeah. You can know that they're part of ICE, but like, I think that just driving, and it's not that I think that just driving away isn't punishable by deadly force. It's written in their code. And so I think that the Christy Nomo, he followed all his training, I think is BS. I also think
the training.
Yeah.
The fact that they all left right after too.
He took off. He took off. Actually, there was one video clip that was pretty interesting and it was pretty quick. But after he shot her, there was another agent that was there, and he turned and walked away, and it looked like he was like, "Oh my God, what just happened?"
Oh, I didn't see that.
Like that agent, so you see the shot. There was another one that was right there. He started in the video because everyone started following the car, but you could see him walk away, and it looked like he was like, oh my God. Like, I wish we had kept on. I wish someone had kept on him, because that guy, I think, realized we fucked up.
Look for that.
Like, it's in that one from the back shot, like that from behind the vehicle as it goes this way and the shots happen. There's the one guy here and he turns and walks this way, right after. Yeah.
I'll try to find it. If not, I'll text you. Hey, send me that clip.
Well, it's on here. Paulie showed it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was I think CNN used one of those clips too, and it was from behind the vehicle. So just watch that. Just watch the one guy as he walks away, and it just looks like he's like, oh, oh no, like. And I don't know. The whole thing. At the end of the day, the whole thing is absolutely tragic. I mean, this kid is now without a mother, and I think she has other kids or another child with another marriage. Like, I mean, you've destroyed these people's lives for what? For what reason? Like, there was no reason to shoot this lady.
They're
I know,
heartless.
but it's getting worse than that too, because they're absolutely demonizing her. Talking, I watched a video. Honestly, it enraged me. What I hate is the smug when people, and I know that sometimes I'm smug too. But I don't like when people make the video like, see, she was a lesbian. See, like,
Oh, that
who
was
cares if
Fox
she was a
News.
lesbian? Well, that
Fox News
proves
did
that
that.
she's part of this leftist army, this big nefarious leftist agenda. No, it means that she likes her. Like, that's it. Another thing was, oh, she was part of like an anti-ICE thing. Okay, she was a watcher. She was even if it was true that she was signed up to be a part of a group that watches what ICE does and documents it and stuff. So what? You don't want to be watched? That's not worth a death sentence either. It's watching. If there's nothing wrong with what you're doing, there shouldn't be anything wrong with anybody watching it. But they're making these smug videos like, see, she deserved it because she was part of this. And Caroline Levitt, the press secretary, coming out to say the whole reason that this happened was because of this big leftist organized thing just to stop Trump. The lady showed up in her van, was watching stuff happen, and then tried to drive away after a couple of chirps, and then lost her life because of it. She was trying to drive away. That is, you can't look at the video and think that her intention was to try to run that guy over instead of just trying to get away.
No, she was going to try to get away.
Not with the direction of the wheels, not with the position of her hands on the steering wheel, not with his position of his feet in relation to the van. When the first shot goes off, there's absolutely no way you can look at that and believe what they're saying. But what they're saying is, believe what we have to say. Don't believe your eyes.
Especially the garbage that they spewed right away. I mean, it clearly was not the case in any way. And my only other concern is all these people that are like, why didn't you just comply? Why did you just not get out of the vehicle? Why did you not stay? And you sit there and go, you're not in this situation. You personally are not put in this situation where you're now being surrounded. You're like, everyone reacts to situations differently. I mean, you're being surrounded by armed masked men trying to open your door to get you out of your vehicle. There's going to be a percentage of people that are going to be like, oh shit, I got to get out of here. I don't know what to do. I got to get out of here. And they see the roads. Oh, I can just go. Like they're not.
I mean, they see these same masked people throwing people into vans, and then nobody knows what happens to the people who were thrown into the vans after. Nobody knows
and now
where the vans end up.
And now there's stories of men doing it to women. They're pretending they're ICE and they're masked and they're grabbing women off the street, throwing them in vans and taking off with them. I mean, there's stories. I don't know if they're true or not, but there are stories. There's rumors, right? But that's things that are going around. So of course, women are going to be up in arms and more afraid than anybody else.
And I think the scariest part about it is that these people who are doing this are completely backed 100% by the American administration. 100%. Doesn't matter what they do. They got the president, the vice president, the press secretary, and the lady who dresses up and pretends to be the director of national security or homeland security. Like these people are going to lie for you. It doesn't matter what you do, you're going to get away with it. And not only are you going to get away with it, they're going to lie to the whole world about you.
And we can only hope that. Sorry,
I was just going to say an absolute lie, like just a blatant absolute lie. Hey, let's dress up this podium in green lace, and I'm going to put my best hat on, and like what is happening? Like, I don't know. Like, it's almost like it's theater. It's just
Yeah.
theater.
And
And go
everybody's
ahead.
going to hope that they'll face justice when Trump's term is over. But is his term going to be over? Because now he's even musing not having the midterms. Like he's
Oh yeah.
musing not having the midterms at all.
Oh, they're poised to do something. Something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah. So just super quickly to touch on a couple of other things before we wrap it up for the night. Something else is going to happen in the United States. Marco Rubio is set to travel to Greenland next week to discuss the U.S. interest in getting them. There's rumors where, like, Greenland's population is only 57,000. There's a rumor of Trump trying to buy them all off. Like, hey, I'll give you all 100 grand each.
Yeah, 100 grand,
if I can
10,000
have
to
your country.
100,000. Yes.
Yeah, 10,000, 100,000. Yeah. I wonder if they have their snowballs ready.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw something online where someone posted throwing snowballs at ice in Minnesota was the most Canadian thing they've ever seen.
Well,
an
actually,
American do.
it's funny because the Freedom Convoy tried to build walls with snow, with
I
shovels.
remember
of
that.
snow. Do you remember? It was hilarious.
Yes.
They had these little walls, but I didn't see them throw snowballs. I didn't see one snowball thrown.
I think that Greenland will decline any offers from the United States. This is what I think. I don't think that the United States are going to give up on them, but I don't believe that they're going to take them yet. I believe that Iran is probably next on their list.
Yeah.
The reason I believe that, we talked before about watching Mr. Global. Mr. Global recently made a video about watch Iran because their oil prices have gone up. But the reason that I believe that they're going to be next is that the usual Trump cheerleaders, the Canadians, they look like Pierre Poilievre cheerleaders, but if you pay attention to their content, they're really Trump cheerleaders. They've been talking about Iran. And that's why I think, because all of a sudden, why are these people concerned? Look at the poor people of Iran. Look at the protesting, or we need to. Why isn't anybody talking about how we need to help Iran? That's why I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Hope I'm wrong, but that's what I think.
And I wouldn't put it past anyone where the U.S. had a hand in these protests in Iran, agitating them, starting them.
It's possible, and I do understand.
Oh, yeah.
I do understand why they would protest that leader, just like I understand why people would celebrate Maduro going. But again, just because one bad guy goes away, like, don't just trust the new guy right away.
It's going to be the same. Yeah, it's going to be better. It's going to be any better. They might be worse. Yeah, that's the problem. And I think you're right. I think the USA has a hand in Iran and what's happening there. And I'm really worried they're going to step in. I think they should just let it go. Like, just let the people take care of business.
And then we'll see leaders putting out statements to say, well, we hope that there is an Iranian led transition. And yeah.
I think it's interesting, though. I saw a couple other content creators put stuff out there where if America saw what was happening in America, America would step in.
Yeah, that's true.
And I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, yeah, completely makes sense.
I never thought in my lifetime, because I used to be a huge fan of the United States, I never thought in my lifetime that United States could actually be the one that starts World War III.
Listen, there's nobody. If anybody
Greenland
says, "Oh yeah, I saw all of this coming,"
no,
come on, man. None of this. Nobody grew up thinking that we were ever going to see anything like this.
I don't know. Anyone can just look back over the last 75 years and see the role that the United States has played in the international community and the things that they've done, from even the original Afghan war in the 80s There, people should know their history, and they should see the impact that has been happening.
Did I say World War II by mistake?
World War III. You said World War III.
Okay. I'm just like, oh,
Unless
did
you
I
said
say
4. I don't know.
No, you know what?
You're all
Rob,
laughing about
I
World
agree
War
with
III and
you.
World War IV. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I take it back that nobody would have seen this coming. I think the average person wouldn't have seen this coming. And I think that looking back at history is more of a hindsight thing of how did we not see this coming? But see what I did there? Sorry. But overall, I don't think this was expected. I want to give 2 little updates too before we wrap it up. Number one, there was supposed to be the tariff ruling today, the Supreme Court in the United States, and they're like, nope, we're not ready for that. And then I heard that, well, I think it's like next Wednesday, they'll hear other opinions. They're not talking about, I don't believe they've put out a date of when the decision will be, but it is postponed.
Yeah.
The other thing is hearing some chatter online about people pressing FIFA to cancel World Cup in the United States. It's not going to happen, but I don't believe. But there is chatter about it.
Of course. I mean, what you think about FIFA? I mean, we're talking about the world. This is the world stage where you've got, these elite athletes from around the world in different countries going to a place that doesn't like people from any other countries.
What if ICE goes there?
Yeah,
maybe ICE will show up.
Hey, I'm just gonna say the Nazis hosted the Olympics.
Yeah,
they did. Yeah. Hitler did.
I think at the end of the day, I mean, I don't think there's anything. I don't think anything will happen at the World Cup. I think Donald Trump knows that this is a big stage for him and his government and the country, and I'm pretty sure it's just gonna go off, and he's gonna be the entertainer that he is, and he's gonna want to show how great they are, and I don't foresee.
I don't foresee it either, but I think it would be naive not to consider an ICE presence there. I don't think so. If I was betting on it, I would bet against it. But I honestly think it should be considered that it's a possibility.
But then again, what does it matter? Because I don't think this guy really cares one way or another about any of that stuff, really. Maybe he wants to make a different statement on the world stage. I don't know.
He's set to speak at Davos too, which at the WEF forum, which I thought most of his supporters were against, but I guess it's okay when he goes there. I don't know.
Well, they've already changed the date of the G7 summit because Trump's having his birthday party on the lawn of the White House to have his
your chin, Macron. Sorry, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I would have still scheduled it. Oh, well, you can't make it. You can't make it. Oh well, you would rather have your fight on the White House lawn for your birthday than come to the G7 summit. Oh well, we'll see you later.
Why is the group rescheduling around one guy?
Yeah.
Come on. I thought it was weak. I didn't like it. Honestly, I didn't like it.
It is weak. Absolutely weak.
You have one question there, Christy. Someone wants to know your opinion on I thought it was something that we should maybe ask in here. I gotta find it first. I gotta find it.
Thank you for your question. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube already, please do.
They wanted to know what your perspective was on them threatening Canada, the Trump or the U.S. threatening Canada.
I hate it. I've been bitching about that 51st state bullshit in a lot of my content on TikTok. I have many videos expressing my distaste for it from Pete Hoekstra, who is a Total BSer. That guy who's the ambassador to Canada, used to be the ambassador to Netherlands, got caught lying about the Netherlands, got called out for it, played the I forgot how to talk thing. He beaks off about 51st state. I just put a video up the other day of showing different threats to different countries from the American administration, from Trump talking about Colombia. We know that they've talked about Panama before. I think it was Marco Rubio. No, it wasn't Marco Rubio. Sorry. It was Lindsey Graham who was talking about Cuba. And then I put a string of video clips of Caroline Levitt and Donald Trump talking about it over and over and over and over again. I think it is a real intention. I don't think it was ever a joke. I was upset at the beginning when people first started beaking off about it, that it was even suggested that it was a joke. I think that was the worst thing to do would be to write it off as a joke. Donald Trump's not a funny guy, right? He's a lot of things. He's not a funny guy. He's not saying it to be a joke. He's saying that because he wants our country. I think we should take the threat seriously. And I appreciate that we have a prime minister like Mark Carney, who is diversifying our trade and trying to strengthen the fabric of our economy from different threads other than American ones. I hope that addressed the question.
It was from Mountain, and Mountain thanked me for asking it.
Thanks for the question, Mountain. Are there any other questions, or should we wrap it up?
I think Perspective Ontario had a question. Let me just scroll
up.
Hey,
how are you doing? I haven't seen her for a long time.
I know. It's like she disappeared.
I always appreciate
Did you say the tariff? Did you say the tariff decision was postponed?
Yes. Yeah. It was supposed to. They were supposed to talk about it today, and they kicked that can down the road. I think we should hear more on Wednesday about it.
I don't know if it was so much postponed, but they come up with rulings on certain days and nobody knows what it is that they're going to announce. But today they just didn't announce the tariff one. They announced something different. So we're just waiting.
Yeah, they were originally supposed to announce it today.
Oh, really? Okay. I just thought nobody knew what it was, like what they were discussing. I thought the way
January
the Supreme
9th
Court
was on people's calendars for a while.
But because the Supreme Court said that, because usually they don't announce what they're announcing. They just announce rulings on certain days.
I didn't get it from the Supreme Court. I got it from the internet, so it could have been fake news. There was another Supreme Court ruling, though, that was going to come out today. So after I'm done this, I'm going to go take a look. And that was the appeal from the Boy Scouts of America case. Right now, there's 82,000 men who are in a class action suit against the Boy Scouts of America, who are trying to say, well, our bankruptcy should be only this much money. And it went to appeal, and the appeal was supposed to be heard today. So I will update that on my own TikTok page. I have a whole playlist about the.
And we're out. And that's a wrap, everybody.
She'll be back in 2 seconds. That's funny. Her internet cuts out because she lives in a place that has Temu internet. She'll be back. She'll want to say goodbye to everybody for sure. So we'll just wait. And Arctic surveillance is the primary USA interest. China and Russia are competing. Yeah. For our Arctic. Oh, Arctic.
Sorry, I got a call.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, when I get a phone call, I get kicked right off.
Yeah. Okay, well. Okay, don't forget to mention what you're going to do tonight.
Yeah, if I go live tonight, if I'm able to do it, I don't think I'll be able to go on by 6:45. But text me later on, and if I go live tonight, look for me, and we can keep talking about stuff.
Christy wants to do a late night live on TikTok, and I might moderate or go in. Yeah, TikTok. So everybody just tune in, keep an eye out.
I always forget about moderators, and then I remember how much I should consider moderators because I get some haters.
After 9 p.m. I'm good.
After 9 or 9:30.
Well,
like 9ish. Yeah, between 9 and 9:30.
Text me when you get home, and then we'll jump on.
Yeah.
And you'll have people up. You'll have people up? You'll allow people up?
Yeah. We'll let people up. We'll just have a talk, just cash.
Questions. Oh, I can do that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Late night live, after 9 to 9:30ish Pacific time. Not on the Maple Minds channel though, on Christy TikTok. But we will be live again on Maple Minds next Tuesday at 5 o'clock Pacific time. Again, if you aren't subscribed to our YouTube, you should be, and you should tell all of your friends and family to subscribe to our YouTube as we try to get to 500.
Woohoo!
Yay.
Are we not there yet? We're not there yet? What?
No.
I don't know. I haven't got an update from Polly.
We're actually lost 2 subscribers.
Oh.
So we're at like 411. We need 500 to get super chats. And
Oh,
then
wow.
1,000 to get monetized, which is what I'm really going for. We need to get it to 1,000 so that we can get monetized. 1,000.
Right. Well, let's work on 500
followers
first.
Yeah, 500 is a good goal. It's only like what, 91?
89?
89.
What are we at?
Yeah.
89. 411.
411. Check out our
Rob
math
for the
skills.
win on that. Quick.
Yeah, good job.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, that's just the way this thing works.
All right. Well, I'm going to go pick around at that brain after 9:30
Mhm.
tonight. I'll see you tonight.
Let's go.
Probably talk a lot about Minnesota more too. Anyways.
Oh my God, yeah.
Thank you everybody for joining us on Friday night. Come join us later on TikTok and maybe even come up in the box and have a yap with us. If not, we will see you on Tuesday at 5 o'clock Pacific.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the
Bye.
gift. Thank you for the shares
Thank
and the
you.
likes. And please subscribe
thank
to our
you.
YouTube channel.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.